7 o'clock, I call this meeting to order. Would you all join me in the pledge of allegiance to our flag? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And while we're on the subject of flags, you have a son serving in the military.
Yes, I do.
Well, this flag, what I'd like to present to you, signifying his service to the country.
Thank you.
And it is signed by myself, as chair of this board.
Thank you. Nice.
And thank you for your service, young man.
No problem, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Can we read it?
Sure.
No problem.
Congrats.
Thank you
Yeah,
for your service.
This letter's our letter we give to folks in the Blue Star family. It's with great pride the Searsport Board of Selectmen presents you with the Blue Star banner flag to display at your home. The Blue Star service banner was designed and patented in 1917 by World War I Army Captain Robert Queeser of the 5th Ohio Infantry. The captain's two sons served on the front line. His banner quickly became the unofficial symbol of the parents whose child are in active military service. The Blue Star represents one family member serving, and the banner can have up to 5 stars. If the individual dies in service, a smaller gold star is placed over it. Blue Star service banners are widely used during both of the World Wars, but were not as popular during the Korean and Vietnam Wars. We are grateful to the American Legion for rekindling the spirit of pride in our military men and women following September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. And that's why we decided a few years back to start making sure that our young people are covered by, and families can be recognized as being Blue Star families. So there you go. Thank you.
That's very nice. Thank you.
And now Dick's here.
Item 3 on our agenda, roll call.
I'm a note taker, so I got it.
Okay, all 5 of us are here.
English was a little slow tonight.
And before I go any further, I want to welcome a new select person to the board.
Thank you. It's a privilege and an honor to be here. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to working with you.
Me too.
Item 4 on the agenda, acceptance of the March 6th meeting, minutes of that meeting. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second that. Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes of our March 6th meeting as written. Any discussion?
I will abstain as I was not present.
Right, good. All those in favor? 4, 1 abstention. Item 5, acceptance of agenda. Any changes, James?
No changes, but one 11th hour to add, and that is to approve or award the tax anticipation note for 2018. I do have the paperwork, and we'll have the rest of the paperwork tomorrow. But we have to vote on it tonight because it is time sensitive.
That was for... Do I have a motion on acceptance of the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Motion made and seconded to accept the agenda as amended, with the addition of the 11th hour. Any discussion? All those in favor? Open to public. Anything to say, young man? No?
Did you get a chance to work with the rock troops over there?
I did.
Yeah.
A lot, actually.
Yeah.
More than anticipated, but it was...
I don't know how they are now, but when we worked with them, they managed to get the Vietnamese to get off their butts and do something. They were very geared up, very aggressive.
Yeah.
I hope they still are for their sake. No.
Item 7A, election of officers. I think James has a... No, he does. Yes. No, that's an appointment. We got
That's
an
a-
election of officers.
Yeah, that's up to you guys.
Right. Chair, vice chair, and secretary this coming year.
I make a motion, we nominate the chair for Jack.
Second.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, I'll call a vote. All those in favor of my remaining in the chair? One abstention. Vice chair.
Make a motion, we nominate Dick Damaris.
Second.
Any other motion, any other nomination? Motion made and seconded to elect Dick as vice chair. All those in favor? Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, same to you.
Secretary.
You've been using Joanne Moulton. I would recommend that would probably be a good choice.
I'll make a motion for Joanne Moulton.
Second?
Any other recommendation? All those in favor of Joanne remaining as our secretary? 5-0. Item B, municipal review committee withdraw.
Yeah, the final action necessary to move forward with our plan to stay with the PERC plant is we have to formally vote to withdraw from the Municipal Review Committee. The MRC, as it's known, it was formed by several municipalities in Eastern Maine to negotiate and deal with PERC, Penobscot Energy Recovery. Since we are remaining with PERC and dealing with them directly, we no longer need to be a member of the MRC. I would recommend a vote to withdraw from the MRC and to authorize the town manager to sign any withdrawal agreements. We have had this on the agenda before. We've discussed it. We are already signed up and staying with PERC. The contract expires on March 31st. So this is kind of, I held off the actual action on this item to the end in case something changed along the way, but obviously nothing's going to change, and we're pretty straightforward going to stay where we're at.
Okay, board, you've heard the town manager's recommendation. What's your wish?
I move we go with his recommendation. Second.
Motion made and seconded to go with the town manager's recommendation to withdraw from the MRC. Any discussion? There being none, I'll call for vote. All those in favor? 5-0. Annual appointments. It's gonna take a few minutes.
Yeah, there's a series of appointments which are made each year, and the first we usually start out with are the actual annual appointments.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You say the yearly appointments for calendar year 2018. I'll read them off. James Gilway for the position of Road Commissioner, Sexton of Cemeteries, Tax Collector, Treasurer, and Assistant General Assistance Manager. Deborah Plord as the Town Clerk, Deputy Tax Collector, and Deputy Treasurer. Wayne Hamilton as Harbor Master, Travis Otis as Assistant Harbor Master, Adrian Stone as Health Officer, Randall Hall as Code Enforcement Officer, Plumbing Inspector, and Electrical Inspector. Richard LaHaye as Shellfish Warden, Arthur Coach Jr. as Animal Control Officer, Almond Bud Rivers as Assistant Animal Control Officer and EMA Director, Gail McKeague as Assistant EMA Director, Andy Webster as Fire Chief, Howard Clark as Wastewater Superintendent, and Harriet Clark as Assessor. We'll take a break there if you want.
I see one thing here that does not look right, Arthur Coach.
I don't know how that
I
got
wondered about
there.
that too.
I didn't type that, believe me. It's an old date that popped up on my computer and inserted itself where I wanted to. That's weird. It was very strange. It has. We can strike that 03 reference. I don't know where it came from.
Okay, you've heard the list of proposed appointments for the year and the positions. What's your wish?
Make a motion we approve the listed positions and strike the date for the animal control officer, that being 1 year.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve this recommended list of appointments, the positions they hold. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Now the remainder, I've got a couple of other items. Boards and committees that you appoint, I'll go through them. Planning Board, Keith Ritchie, Vice Chair of that board, is a 5-year appointment. We've done Randy Hall. The Board of Appeals, Percy King, John Moran, and Ron Cook, each a 3-year appointment. Comprehensive Plan Committee, George Kerper, 3-year appointment. Economic Development Committee, Ralph Harvey and Wayne Hamilton, both a 3-year. Shellfish Management Committee, Steve Tangway and Jay Economy, 3-year appointments. Downtown Revitalization Committee, Dick Damaris, Doug Norman, Mike Nami, Karen Kelly, Meredith Ayers, Janet Williams, Phyllis Summer. All those are 1-year appointments because it's like an ad hoc committee. The Cemetery Committee, due up are Cindy Gibbs, Jackie Howard, Noreen Fernandes, and Ray Smith, 3-year appointments. Ordinance Review Committee only meets as needed, and that's Aaron Fetke, Meredith Ayers, Faith Garrow, Arthur Coach Jr., Roland LaRue, David Taliander, and Janet Williams. And I believe those are a 1-year appointment because that's, again, an ad hoc committee that someday we might not use. We don't use them now, but we'll call them up as needed.
Okay, we have been presented with a list of boards and committees and who serves on and the time. What's your wish?
Make a motion we approve the boards and committee as listed.
There's one change there, but I don't know whether Phyllis has gotten married, so she may have a different last name. But
Yeah, I'll check that.
okay.
We'll know who she is.
All right.
I haven't gone that far with her to find out. if she's
Okay.
changed
She
her
may
name.
not. She may still be using that name.
The phone might be ringing soon here.
That was a second. That was a second.
Yes, that was the second. Yes.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve this whole list of committee and board members. Any discussion?
I have some, the Economic Development Committee, I'd really like to see that tabled. This is not the Economic Development Committee that we've known for the last 10 years. We are making a change, and I think we could probably adjust this with Dean being on that committee. And it's been a dead committee for too long. We finally got some life into it, and I think we ought to take a good look at the whole committee, what the needs are, and whether we even want the committee.
Well, I think Dean should be working with them as an advisor, but a number of years ago, it was decided that non-residents would not be committee members.
I just question
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
what we need. I feel we're finally starting to get going in the right direction. After many, I mean, I sat there as chair of a lot of us have sat there, we just could not get that
Oh, I know
spark
it.
going.
I know.
I think we have the spark going, so I think, how do we capitalize on this?
Mhm.
So I'm in favor of everything. I'd really like to see the motion amended to, at this time, table the economic development. Committee.
I'll redo my motion to include the amendment to table the Economic Development Committee.
I'll revise my second for that purpose.
Okay.
Okay.
We're good to, the new motion would be to approve all but the Economic
Right.
Development Committee at this
Yep.
time.
Yep.
I'll make it, if somebody wants that.
Already done, I've done the amendment.
Yep.
I have it recorded as amended
Yep.
motion.
Okay.
You
Yep.
can vote.
So now we have a motion to approve these, unless the Economic Development Committee. Right,
Second.
that was, you seconded it,
And I
right?
second the amended motion.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
So there's one more, we're not off the hook yet.
No.
The final appointment that needs to be made this year,
Ballot.
it's not made every year, are the ballot clerks. And these are a 2-year term, starting April 1st. The ballot clerks being recommended by the clerk of Searsport are Beverly Smith, Marjorie Canuti, Faith Gerald, Madeline Littlefield, Gary Moore, Joanne Lavway, Janine Lavway, I'm sorry.
Janine.
I can't even read. Ralph Harvey, Patsy Wood, and Sandra Otis Anderson.
Do I have a motion on the ballot clerks?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve this list of proposed ballot clerks, 2-year term. Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0.
That's in my auction.
Eight B, budget adjustments from contingency.
It's also that time of year, now that we're past the town meeting, to bring forward the recommendations of the auditors. They've completed their work. There were a few overages in different accounts. The total overage amount for the town in 2017 budget was $12,978.74. We are recommending to you to cover this with contingency, selectmen's contingency, and that some of the remainder of the contingency be applied to one cemetery trust account. This trust account has had deficits for issues for many years. The breakdowns are as follows. The manager account, $480.04 over. Insurance and legal, $5,412.11. That was the winner. Animal control was $86.40 over. The public safety building was $205.07 over. The fire department was $2,891.48 over. Streetlights were $957.57 over. Hydrants, this is my favorite. There were only $3 over, but they do have to be voted on.
Are they willing to negotiate that?
Well, maybe not. The library was $2,943.07 over. If you want, we can go down through some of the reasons for these. It might be enlightening to those that might be watching. The manager's account was over due to a policy change where we pay out a portion of vacation. We didn't account for that for the past year. Insurance and legal is because of having to hire attorneys this year. We needed some guidance for the union issue, which we worked on all year, and there was one personnel matter that we didn't plan on having. Animal control at $86 was simply an overage, probably due to the volume of calls. Public safety building generally is fuel and electric that drives us over. We didn't have any additional expenditures. The fire department was over due to the end of the year. They bought some additional gear for turnout gear, and as a result, and we didn't realize because our budget showed us it being under until the auditors got a hold of our books. As a result of learning that, we did not increase the budget this year, they were looking to buy additional turnout gear, so we kept that flat as a result. Streetlights, just electricity, hydrants, just water. And the library, we did some additional work this year over there as a result of our inspection from the insurance company and OSHA. So the back steps had some work done. There was some work done downstairs as far as the installation of a gate, and there was some materials related to all of that. That was the explanation. And the Evergreen Trust, Cemetery Trust, we're recommending to add $9,700 to the available portion of that. A couple years ago I came to you with some deficits that were existing in the principals on these accounts, which should never happen. We don't touch them, but because of auditing and because of the way our investments are, we actually lost some money in these accounts. Evergreen is a matter of, you would authorize the money to be withdrawn from the cemetery accounts to do stone work, and it was taken from this account instead of spread across the rest of them. Again, it's something that the auditors do, but to make this whole, we're recommending an addition back to that account and out of contingency. You have $30,000 of contingency. We're not recommending that you spend it all, but $12,978.74 plus $9,700.
What's the wish board?
I'll make a motion that we go with the 9,700 into Evergreen Cemetery Trust. And the rest is for information, correct?
No, you have to approve moving contingency to cover those accounts.
Then I'll recommend that we also move the $12,978.74 along with the 9,700.
From contingency.
Yes, from contingency.
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to take $12,978.74 from contingency, plus another $9,700 from contingency for the Evergreen Cemetery Trust. Any discussion?
I have a comment.
Yeah.
The library, we kind of knew that those problems have been around for a while. And as a selectman, I would expect that to be more in their budget that they submit to you.
Excuse me?
Yeah, normally
That's a lot of overage.
It really came to us all at once, and some of those things were new from the inspection. That's
Some of them,
some of them
but
were.
not all.
Yeah, but we couldn't carry the money over either.
And I'm not trying to be negative. I just think that's a
Completely-
lot of $3,000.
Completely understand.
The contingency is supposed to be for emergency,
Absolutely.
not operating.
One of the things that we've done, and the reason why we've advocated over the past few years to add money to contingency, is we keep trimming the budgets to the bare minimum. So when we do have issues, and quite frankly, I've had many a conversation with former selectmen, Ron Cook and Bruce Mills, over this, because we used to keep that. We used to put more money in the budget and less money in contingency, and we would be turning over more money into surplus. We've changed that philosophy to trying to keep that bottom line as tight as we can get it, giving the variable to the selectmen so that not every single budget account has fluff in it, if you will, and we're not taxing for surplus. We're actually cutting it pretty close. So yeah, so these things, you know, will happen. I'll look a little closer at that one. I think we did make an adjustment to that this year so that we won't be as close.
Any more questions or comments on the motion and second? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? 5-0. $11th hour, the tan.
For a number of years now, we've been forever, we've been putting out a tax anticipation note. This year we're put out a note, we advertised to several banks. 3 banks responded, and I'll go through them. Government Finance and Androscoggin Bank made a tan bid offer at we borrowed $1.5 million, and their bid for as-needed drawdown is 2.65%. Camden National made a bid of 2.58%, and Bangor Savings Bank gave us a proposal at 2.38%. Bangor being obviously the lowest bidder, but it does require a vote, and I have a proposed vote that Jack has as well.
You want to, I'm not gonna read this, but you wanna just take a quick look at it? It's just basically the same thing James said, only just more words.
Item 3 is the most important part.
Yeah, we've seen these before, but. Yeah, I'll make a motion that we awarded bid of for a tan of 1.5 million, Bangor Savings Bank, at a rate of 2.38%.
Second.
Any discussion? Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for it. All those in favor? Here's correspondence.
I believe there are 3 items in correspondence. The first, the first is officially a letter from Paula Stone, and she is requesting that her property on the corner of Main and Mortland Road be returned to its commercial zoning. It was changed last year in a change to land use, but it's now officially in front of you. The second item is a letter from Richard and Sherry Chackett, and it's making us aware of a water issue that the folks on Mortland Road, just below the high school and elementary school, are experiencing, and it seems not to be going away. And we'll give you a brief update on this. Randy has been made aware of it and is investigating the original building permit for the expansion of the school, where they added the offices and the cafeteria and the detention pond. We need to know what the regulations were around the detention pond. We don't believe it's been had anything done to a way of maintenance or anything since it was installed when that project was done. We're going to see what the requirements were and then address this directly. And the last item is from the Department of Agriculture, Conservation and Forestry, State of Maine, and this is making us aware that the town of Islesboro has submitted its comprehensive plan to the Department of Agriculture. In case anyone wants to make comments on it or see it, we do have, there is access online to these, and we're undergoing the same thing, so they'll get a letter when we're done ours as well. That's what we have.
Any comments, board, on the correspondence?
Well, we can't do anything about that zoning change because that can only be done at annual town meeting.
I made her aware of that.
Right.
Oh, okay.
There's a process that was followed, to change it from where it was, and the same process needs to take place in order to even consider moving it back, and that involves public hearings and notices and an annual town meeting.
Does anybody remember why we changed it? I don't.
It was an overall change to that whole neighborhood from basically Black Road south to Reservoir Street, where we identified that that's primarily residential. There's not much commercial.
So it wasn't just that block?
Oh, no, it was the whole,
It's a new
yeah.
whole
Okay.
zone,
Yeah, whole
and
area.
people were notified by mail as required by law. There were some that came back because the addresses weren't good, and Paula's happened to be one that came back. You know, she's identified that she had a bad mailing address with us, so it's really important for people, if they, just like changing your driver's license and letting the DMV know, it's important to keep the town up to speed as to how to reach out to you. So so she missed it, and she would have been objecting to it, and now she's asking us to go back, and so it's been presented to the planning board as well.
I don't think, if the zoning on the other corner was changed also, I believe, because I was on the planning board at the time, and, you know, residents said they didn't want commercial spreading down, you know, in a residential area. So I don't believe that you could rezone that one lot, because it would be spot zoning, which is illegal.
The only opportunity could exist in the property across the street, but kitty corner across the street is commercial. So I don't know if that
The property
triggers
where oh, you mean on the other side of Main Street?
other side of Main Street. The church isn't, but Peter Mason's old office is, and that whole block across. So I don't know. I don't want.
It might be
I'm not
stretching.
going to make
Yeah,
a.
okay, that's
I'm not going to make a
I guess,
judgment call.
yeah, I guess that's a possibility.
The board can consider it and decide what to do next. So.
It goes to the planning board, doesn't it?
Yeah, the planning, it's actually the planning board's responsibility to deal with. But she's making you aware.
Any other comments on the correspondence? Want to move on? And I'll take a motion on the treasurer's warrant.
Move we approve the treasurer's warrants. Second.
Motion made, seconded to approve the treasurer's warrant pending signature. All those in favor? We have some department head reports.
The only one I didn't get was the fire department. I met with them earlier in the week, and they had some issues that took place that kept them away from it. I do want to give you a heads up. There is an update in your packet from Harriet Clark about the update on the revaluation from RJD Appraisals. If you would indulge, I'll read it real quick. The reevaluation team will be reviewing all homes and businesses they did not contact late in the summer and fall in April and May. The personal property inventory forms will be going out in the mail the week of March 19th with a due date of mid-April. In June, each resident or persons owning property in Searsport will get a preliminary assessed value report in the mail to review. Please make sure that the assessor's office has your correct mailing address. In late June, early July, there will be a week of informal meetings held to discuss your values if you are in disagreement or wish further explanation. The final commitment will be late in June and will have a new assessed value for the 2018 value. Please feel free to call the town office here at 548-6372 if you have any questions regarding this. She really wants to make sure people hear this over and over and over again. There are deadlines here, and when you get that paperwork in the mail, pay attention, because your opportunity to argue your side or make changes will come and go quickly.
We're not skipping the appeals board, correct?
Nope. No, there will be an opportunity for appeal, but
Is
informally,
there a time limit on that, Tim?
informally, you'll have an opportunity to talk to them. They're under contract to deal with the disputes before we go to commitment. Once we go to commitment, you can complain and argue and be upset, but your real appeal period will be prior to that, when they're still here to fulfill the obligation of their contract.
Any other comments, discussion on department head reports, questions? Then move on to selectmen's reports. Dick, you have anything?
Yes. Back before Christmas, I think it was, we hooked up with the 5th grade and a storm blew the whole thing away. Talked to James, and I think it was the next meeting, the first meeting in April. And maybe we can get them in here. Once again, it'll be a 1 o'clock meeting in the afternoon. 5th grade will go upstairs and watch us go through a meeting. So if that date is okay with everybody, I'll go
Yep.
ahead and I'll notify the school.
April 3rd.
April 3rd. And that's about it for me, I believe.
Doug?
I would like to thank everybody that supported me for re-election, and I would like to also welcome Linda Payson.
Thank you.
Is a new board member, and that's it.
I don't have any.
You have anything like?
I am just very happy to be here, and I thank everyone for their votes. I really appreciate the support. I'm just overwhelmed, and just hope that I can live up to the expectations.
I'm sure you'll make a fine addition.
Remember how overwhelmed you are if somebody's gonna hit you with a stone. 'Cause
Yeah, remember that next time you're downtown, someone nails you.
yeah. Be careful crossing the street.
When you're trying to get through the line at Tozer's.
I just want to compliment our town works, public works, for the great job they've done this winter keeping the roads, sidewalks done.
Second
A
that.
tremendous amount of snow, and they've done a terrific job, and they deserve our
Yes, they
thanks
do.
and congratulations.
Ditto.
Second, yeah. Tell them it's the first day of spring, so.
Yeah. The calendar says. No call-in, James?
No calls.
All right. We do have executive session?
Yes.
Make a motion that we go from our regular agenda to executive session.
So
According to MRSA 14456, F, confidential, general assistance matters, and poverty abatement requests, and MRSA 14456C, confidential, acquisition of real property or economic development.
So moved.
Second?
Motion made, second, any discussion? All those in favor of going to executive session? That's at, what,
39?
7:39?
7:40?
Now take a motion to go from executive session back to our regular agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, seconded to go from executive session back to our regular agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor?
You want me to make a motion on these?
Sure.
All right, I make a motion on WP 1810 that we appropriate $100 from the Jenny Lawrence Fund. WP 1811 that we appropriate $500 from the Jenny Lawrence Fund. And PA 1805 that we table.
Motion made and seconded to take, actually a total of $600 from Jenny Lawrence account for WP 1810 and WP 1811, and to table PA 1805. Any discussion? All those in favor? $17. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
Move.
Second.
Motion made, seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?